What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 313. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale.
Shalom.
And Brian Manjoma.
So, Tony, are we going to get another hot take on Last of Us 2?
Maybe. I'm going to talk about that, real quick. Because you know why we're going to talk about it, Brian? Because tonight's a fucking night. Anything goes.
I got a bone to pick with you with that.
Oh, excuse me?
What? Oh, yeah, we're going to throw down.
Oh, we're going to throw down tonight. Oh, boy. Oh, there's bread right in time. Right in time.
Man, you going to throw down like Khalif, man? You going to get some cameos going? You going to...
Yeah, right. I'm going to get Cedric the Entertainer.
You get Cedric the Entertainer and, Eddie Murphy,
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled that shit off. That was crazy.
No, it's cameo. You can literally pay like depends. You can pay them to say make a message on their phone or their computer.
Right. Back up. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is cameo?
It's a service for celebrities, and you pay them. We did one recently for a wrestler for a birthday present.
Yeah, you can. What you can do is you can essentially book book an entertainer or a famous person to make a special message for you. So you know how sometimes people will get like if they visit a famous person at a con, they get them to do their answering machine on their cell phone. This is very similar to that, where you just get a personalized message, you pay them for their little bit of time, and then that's it. So what Khalif did was essentially he paid for Cedric and all the other guys to do a little message making fun of Paris.
Yes.
That's how it worked.
Interesting. See, I thought... Beautiful. Yeah, it was great. See, I thought that he knew these guys somehow, or he had connections, and he talked to because Khalif knows guys, so I figured he made connections and shit. And that kind of takes the magic out of it. I thought I was like, Khalif, man, flexing that muscle now. He flexing that wallet. Is what he's doing.
He was right about it too. Like he even put Cameo in there. He said big thanks to Cameo and all that stuff. So yeah, he popped each one of those guys, and it's not expensive to get their time.
That's crazy.
No, some of them are
that's kind of dangerous, man. That's kind of because you're giving me ideas right now.
There's different pricing for audio or video.
Yeah, you can get different pricing for audio or video. Like Gilbert got in there.
Oh God, because you want to annoy the fuck out of somebody.
Oh no! He's been doing though for Halloween. He was doing Bela Lugosi.
Oh yes, I'm Bela Lugosi.
He has a really good Bela Lugosi impression. He's like, "This is Dracula."
Look at them, my children of the night.
Children of the night.
Music they made.
Oh, the string.
like when we did it, it was for a friend of ours. It was for his birthday, and he was a big Matt Hardy fan, which is the broken Matt Hardy. He even said, "Which gimmick do you want me to use?" And we said, "Oh, use the broken when we sound crazy and stuff. Just wish him a happy birthday and stuff." And that's what he did. He did a whole little audio thing. He was like, "Oh, and you and your mind." He said it was really funny though, but it was good. And I think it was like $150 or something like that.
Yeah, most of them are not too expensive. Like some of them are like $100, some of them like $200. The Undertaker did one, and his was like $1,000.
Oh man, I was like, if I could do the Undertaker for $150, I'll do that today.
The Undertaker with his.
There's legends on. You can get Bret Hart. He's on there. A bunch of legends are on there.
Damn. Yeah, you can like the Undertaker's one was like silly stuff. It's like, I heard you did your homework. The Undertaker's proud of you. It's weird. It's weird shit. One of them was like, buy the book, because I guess somebody got wrote a book and they wanted the Undertaker. So yeah, it was little silly stuff like that.
That's perfect.
It's hilarious. So yeah, that for you guys who don't know what the hell we're talking about. So Khalif from Spawn on Me, right? Him and Paris have had this feud on Twitter for like a year now. Basically, because Paris is all about cooking your barbecue on a grill, right? And Khalif, since he's from New York, he's like, yo, cook that shit in the oven. The ribs, I believe it was. So they've had this beef for like a year, and now to the culmination of the beef, Khalif, using Cameo, as I now know, got all these celebrities like Cedric the Entertainer and all these other guys. Who Eddie Murphy was in there too, right?
Oh, it wasn't Eddie Murphy.
It was like Eddie Murphy?
I was about, did he get Eddie Murphy? Because I didn't watch the whole thing. I swiped up to Cedric. I didn't know the rest of these. I'm like, who are these dudes? You know,
It was Cedric. It was a couple of other ones. I can't remember the other guys, but yeah, it was a couple of pretty well known like stand-up comedians and stuff. Like it was like at least 3 or 4 people. Oh no, fuck! It was Redman. Redman was in there too, by the way.
Oh, he was. That's crazy.
Yeah, he had gotten Redman on there.
So yeah, there you go. By the way, all this that happened right now, this is going to be the whole show. We're just fucking around. Nothing happened in gaming this week. Like,
I mean, there was a couple of small.
We're going to talk about some things. But before we start, there is a couple of shout outs I need to do. I need to shout out, and I'm sorry. I hope I don't butcher your name, bro. I want to give a shout out to Jerko Silas. From Lords of Gaming. I was on his podcast. It's called Games for Everyone. He asked me to be on. By the way, funny story about that, right? So he DMs me like 3 long ass paragraphs, right? Talk about himself, talk about his idea for the show and all that. I've already been talking to this guy for like a month on Twitter, right? Maybe more, right? Mm-hmm. So he goes, like trying to sell himself. Well, why should be on a show? And I reply with when and where. Like I didn't. That's like what it were, bro. You didn't have like I appreciate it coming all professional. I repeat it like, bro, this is me, bro. Just tell me like, yo, Tony, I want to be on. Can you be on my podcast when? So I did it. And it was cool. And the topic was about the whole tribalism in gaming nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because we talked about this last week. Phil Spencer was talking about how he thinks fanboyism is like one of the worst things in gaming right now. So we talked about that, a couple other things, and I got a chance to give motherfuckers a history lesson, right? Because a lot of cats nowadays, they think the console war, doing air quotes for you guys listening at home, that the console war started with the Xbox 360 and PS3. No. That shit started with the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So I went in there
and they were literally doing ads.
Nintendo, Sega does what Nintendo don't, all this other shit. And I had, in the comments section, right? Because we didn't record it live, but we did a premiere, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, "Yo, are you like 20 or something, bruh? Shit." So it was cool.
I think also the whole thing is the social media aspect. Back then, that wasn't a thing, So it was just the big companies, like you said, with the commercials and stuff. But on this level now, with social media, everybody can see each other. And then start their own little groups and get real vocal on it. And that's why it's just looks more like it's in your face, because it wasn't before. Before it was like your little group of friends and that's what you had. And you can talk and pick on what you want. But now you see it online and it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I did that, right? And then as always, I'm becoming like the 4th member of Gamertag Radio now, it seems. I was on Gamertag Radio again. And kind of like this episode's going to be random stuff. Danny called. Because here's the thing. You guys don't know, Danny and Paris and I, we talk every single day, right? But he hits me up yesterday. He's like, yo, guys, you want to do a podcast? We're like, fuck it, let's go. I had no idea what the hell we were going to talk about. I was like, let's do it. And we ended up talking about, maybe this is something we could bring up over here too. We've kind of dabbled on it. The question was, is this launch lineup for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 objectively the best launch lineup? Like, oh, that's kind of interesting, So we did that.
Well, it is for one console.
Oh,
speaking of console, my shit crashed on me twice.
The thing is, if you really think about it, I think this is the best PlayStation launch.
I think so too. I mean,
yeah. Obviously, overall, the Sega Dreamcast cannot be beaten. So let's just get that out of the way real quick. Cannot be beaten, but I'm like, yeah, PlayStation. This is the best launch lineup. Even if you take in everything, I'm talking about first party and third party. I'm like, yeah, this is the best one. Objectively speaking, it is.
Really?
Yeah, like compared to last generation and the generation before that. Like, I mean, I know that's not setting a high bar there, but I think it might be. Yeah.
The two for sure, I know, like all the games that came out during the launches for the last two, and this generation by far blows them out of the water. It's not even close.
Oh yeah.
Knack, Killzone Shadowfall, like those games. Yeah, compared to Demon Souls and Miles Morales, not even close, man.
Yeah, man. Astro's Playroom is fucking better than Knack. What happened, Brett?
Mm-hmm. Can't give Demon Souls to PlayStation. It was a game that already existed and got a spit shine, man.
Okay, so let's take away Demon Souls. Astrobot is still better than fucking Knack.
Than Knack, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
But again, if you take in the third parties as well, we got a new Call of Duty as people seem to be liking Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs, Cyberpunk is coming out.
That in, like, you really think that's topping Black Flag?
Nope.
That's a good question. I haven't played enough of it. And by the way, I'm saying I
but,
played.
but Black Flag was a PS3 game that just got a spit shine.
No, but I'm talking.
Yeah, but I mean, you get to
Carlos,
you get to eliminate.
If we're gonna include third parties for PS5, we have to also include it for PS4 and Black Flag.
Yeah, but if you're gonna dismiss Demon Souls like it's just a spit shine thing, then you have to dismiss.
There's a difference. No, you don't. So we got to dismiss Valhalla because that's what Valhalla is. It's just spit and shine.
No, exactly. I'm saying don't diminish anything. Just whatever came out.
No,
hold on. There's a clear differentiation between a remake and a cross-gen game.
Yeah, I'm with Brett on this one. Demon Souls is an old game, but
they
still,
got remade.
even that, this launch lineup is better,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I applaud them for what they are. I applaud Bluepoint, but it's not the kind of thing that I think, honestly, that Miles Morales, again, I don't justify as like really, like we got, kind of a DLC expansion and we've got a remake, none of which qualify in my book as original release content.
No one's saying this is better than the Dreamcast.
Yeah, we're saying it's better for the best PlayStation one. Not
it's
overall.
Better than Shadowfall and fucking Knack.
Yeah, that's
Shadowfall and Knack were technically brand new from the bottom up games, but they were nowhere near as good as
and I gotta say it about Miles Morales, right? Yeah, it is a DLC expansion game. That DLC expansion game is better than full games that came out this year.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it doesn't qualify. Like, it is disqualified.
I qualify. It qualifies enough.
Well, I think what makes it the best launch is just the fact that it's backward compatible. That's it. So you don't feel like, damn, I'm asked out now.
Shout out to Manny's cat, by the way.
I can have all of them there. So the fact that I can still play all those games, and some of them get a little spit shine when you carry them over, like Tony Hawk. It's a beautiful game and everything, but it does have some loading time because of the big maps and the 4K and all that. But when you put that game, it's only 27 gigs on the SSD, poof, everything starts popping up. It's beautiful. So I love the fact that I have all my games still on this console. I didn't have to wait for some, maybe we'll do a backward compatible thing like when they did that with the 360 to Xbox One. You had to wait for things to pop up. The fact that I just plugged in my 4 terabyte of games, all the shits worked, and so it was fine. Yeah, it's not all new, but it's all there. So yeah, it helped me in that transition because I already had all my games in front of me.
I mean, no, that's an excellent point. Like, I think we've got to the point in the industry, or whatever you want to call it, where we kind of have to differentiate. Like, are we talking original content released, like system sellers, like system pushers? Or are we just talking about games available?
Yeah, games available for this specific. Yeah, for this specific conversation, we're talking about games that you could buy on your console at launch. That's what we're talking about. Launch lineup means exactly that. Games that are available at launch.
Compatibility would automatically make it win.
Yeah. So for some it is a big deal. For some it is a big deal. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the amount of content that you have in a backwards compatible machine is definitely going to outweigh the amount of content you have that's exclusive for the new unit. I mean, that's just going to happen 8 days a week, man.
Yeah, for sure. But again, if you want to go down that route and just eliminate the backwards compatibility, I still think it's a better launch lineup than that PlayStation's ever had. Even though it's not great, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's the greatest launch lineup of all time. I'm talking about compared to other PlayStation launch lineups, it's the best one. I know that's not saying a lot, but it is,
Dude, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting here looking at a list of PS2 launch titles. You got Armored Core, Dead or Alive, Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors, really?
Look, I'm just reading. I'm not reading the entire list.
Name the good ones, bro.
What you say? I heard Dynasty Warriors. What you say?
Yeah. Just to read the good ones. There's a bunch of I've read that. There's a bunch of trash on that thing.
Silent Scope, Tekken, Time Splitters, Unreal Tournament. Like, there was a handful of games in there. You can find something that you like. Let's see what PS3 brought.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing with PS4, PS5 though. You could find games you like. Handful of games like you said.
Dude, not like 20 of them.
Yeah, but most of them are trash though. Let's just be honest. There's like 5 good games on that thing.
You look at that list.
Yeah.
No. Here's my thing. Like, are you saying every game that's released on the PS5 is a keeper?
No, but I'm saying compared to.
I'm saying that there's more keepers in this list than there is in PS5. It's that simple.
Okay, fair enough. Guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one then.
Armored Core is awesome. Dead or Alive, Riku would definitely argue. Dynasty Warriors, Midnight Club is on here. Let's see, Ridge Racer, Silent Scope, Street Fighter EX3, Tekken Tag Tournament, Time Splitters, Unreal Tournament. That's more than a fistful, dude.
Yeah, but a lot of
Street
those are
Fighter
trash.
Street Fighter EX is garbage.
So what's more important, quality or quantity? What's more important?
Are you saying the games that I just announced, I read off, are trash? You think, fucking Time Splitters is a trash game?
Yeah, I mean that's our yeah. I mean that was good. I'll give it that.
You want to say Dynasty Wars is a trash game? So
yeah, I'll say that all day, every day, day. I'll say that shit.
Dude, Dead or Alive is awesome. I'm just saying, like, there was more trash. There was more grabbers in this. But this generation, people seem to be looking for a single game to really be like, this is the reason.
Oh, that doesn't exist.
Out of the handful.
We don't have that. We don't have that.
Unless it's Demon Souls. A lot of people are saying Demon Souls is their game, which is kind of crazy because it's an old game,
Well, it is the choice they have.
You're sending the guys off in the chat. I love it.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah, they're like, wait, Dynasty Warriors is good, but Miles Morales is trash.
No,
he didn't say Miles Morales was trash.
To the people that are listening, I'm not stating anything about the quality of Miles Morales. It is amazing if it's anything like the base game. Spider-Man is one of my favorite games, but it's a fucking DLC, and you people want to qualify it as a game so you can throw it in a category to justify buying a PS5. And honestly,
it's a standalone DLC game.
It is a standalone DLC game, and I will give it that. Like, it's bigger than a standard DLC. It's bigger than a season pass, but it's a standalone DLC. It's, when we're talking about games, and I'm asking about, like, what original games are made, like, you can't throw that at me because it's not a full game. And quite honestly, if you want me to say something that's going to piss everybody off, it's not worth the fucking price point that they set it at. They're fleecing people for that shit for $50.
I know you like you have a different opinion, but as far as for mine, I think all of those games that you mentioned, I played some of those when the PS2 came out. None of those, and I'm with you. This is a DLC standalone game. It's not even a full-fledged game. But Miles Morales blows anything out of the water from the lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
I get that. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm probably being very unclear here. If the rules of the contest were, what original game, what original content has somebody brought you that is going to sell you on this system? Like, if you're talking about game, it doesn't count. If you're talking about content, sure, I guess. But that widens the discussion. I think, if we're talking about what games does the PS5 have, it's technically not a game. That's why I take it out of the list. It's a technicality. It's the best damn standalone DLC I've ever fucking seen. It looks fun as hell. I just don't want to pay $50 for it. I know price is going to come down. I'm not dogging on it in any way, but I don't consider it a game, man. Like, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a game. Technically, it is a game.
Is Days
Gone? It does have a platinum
game?
trophy, so it is a game.
All right.
Yeah. Piggy Dan, stop writing those little ass letters. I can't even read that shit. What the fuck did he say? Hold on. Hold up what you say about my... What the hell, my man? What was that? What was that about? You heard that shit? Somebody turned up the fucking...
That was Adam.
Oh, that was Adam?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, man. Again, this is what you're getting tonight because I don't really have any show notes. I mean, I got two things I want to talk about. Oh, also the last thing I wanted to bring up as far as shout outs go. So last month I did this thing. It was a recording in the city for Intel Gaming Arena, which is actually going live right now. They had the first day, today. So basically what it is, Intel is having a big festival, online festival in 5 Latin American countries and in Canada, right? So I did a segment on there. It was all about PC gaming and laptops. So it was kind of interesting. I had to do a bunch of research beforehand. I did the interview with this girl, Adesina Sanchez. Super fucking cool. We hit it off right away. Really fun stuff. So it's up on their Twitch channel, Intel Gaming. So just hit that up. Go to the 3 hours, 33 minutes, 33 seconds. That's where my shit starts, It was good stuff. And I got to say this, to toot my own horn right now, I had the best fucking background, man. As everybody, right? They were, at home, kind of like I am right now. They were at home just, with a webcam. that's what they did. What I did was I went to the studio 368. Shout out to 368, Zune Girl and Brandon. They hooked me up, and I was properly lit, 4K HD cameras, all this other shit, dope background. You know, these red lockers. I had like the sound, like muffles shit near me. It was really good stuff. The foam, you know, it was like, yo, like. The producer, we were talking beforehand. They were like, all right, Tony, usually when we have guests on, I tell them to adjust their lighting. You don't need to do anything. You're good to go. You know, so that was fucking dope. Yeah, it was good stuff. And it's kind of cool that they're doing this kind of festival more for like Latin countries and shit, Brazil and a bunch of other like, you know, Spanish, because it's Spanish and Portuguese. So they're broadcasting it in those. Originally, I was supposed to do the whole thing in Spanish, right? But then at the last minute, like, oh, we're going to do it in English. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I could have done it in Spanish. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think in Spanish. I think in English. I would have to translate it and then put it out there.
Plus,
what happened?
Plus, the Dominican accent to non-Dominican people is ridiculous.
It's rough.
Oh, really?
It's too fast. It's too fast.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. See, to me, it's normal. You know. Yeah. Thankfully,
Puerto Rican is pretty fast.
Yeah, Puerto Ricans are pretty fast, but I mean, I guess I don't know. To me, again, I guess I'm used to it. It's not fast. But Adesina, same way. She could speak Spanish, but she's more comfortable in English, so it worked out better for both of us, you know. By the way, Carlos, funny story. I don't know if I ever told this on air. I think I must have told you once. So there was this one year I was New York Comic Con, and I was trying to take one of the elevators down, probably to go see Manny at Artist Alley. And there was this guy, you know, he was a worker there and shit, but he was weird, you know, he was off looking from usual workers, like this tall blonde dude. I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. He starts talking in Spanish, right? I'm like, okay, so we start talking and shit. He's like, oh man, I love that Dominican accent. Like he knew me right away, and then I was like, well, that's kind of funny because all my family members tell me I sound like a fucking Puerto Rican. You know, because that New Yorkerness slips in there, you know. But yeah, so it was good stuff. So go check that out. They're having like a 3-day event, just focus on gaming and all that in Latin American countries. So good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, so let's get into some of the news I have here. The biggest one that came out today is Casey Hudson and Mark Darrah leave Bioware. Casey Hudson's one of the founders, so Mark Darrah is another one. So, yo. And this on top of the other guys. Mike Laidlaw, he left a while back. A bunch of the other guys, like the guy who wrote Mass Effect, the first 2 Mass Effects, he left. So
I thought
I'm
he left
like,
a long time ago.
Yo, yeah, but I'm saying it's like, because remember on Throwdown, we don't want this to happen, by the way. But one of the things we keep saying is like, yo, Bioware doesn't deliver soon with the next product, EA is gonna kill them. And I'm like, I think our fucking theory is about to come true if this happens, because like, is that next Dragon Age gonna be that good now? I don't know, man.
Didn't we talk about this with Andromeda, that it was EA that decided to skimp on the art design for the faces? It was.
Oh, I don't know who decided that. It was probably EA, but I don't want to. I don't want to say that definitively.
Well, I just remember somewhere that I remember hearing that it was EA's call.
Yeah.
One of the developers from which Andromeda said, "Hey, don't blame us. You know, we had another group tapped for it, and EA wanted to skimp on it, and so
and we saw the irony with that, right? Because they were like, okay, we had our A team
that's
work on Anthem, and
that's what I'm saying, and they were like, nope, we're not going to focus it, but this is a big deal. No, don't worry about it. It's like, all right, well, which is funny because if you whatever.
I mean, they skimped out on those animations. The game had a lot of bugs. It had so many issues when I was playing it, and it was obviously, you know, and it's not news to anybody, but it was the B team who made this. It wasn't
the B team. Right? That's official. We do know that. Yeah.
You know, Anthem was the game that Bioware wanted to put their main resources in, and Andromeda, they thought, you know, they can get the B team to do it because, you know, and Mass Effect is a established name and people will just buy it, and people did, and
you know,
people
we're gonna stay on topic, but I want to segue to something because it makes me think like there is a very thin margin of victory when it comes to these service games. A lot of them seem to fail. It seems like Destiny and The Division are like the only ones, you know, that seem to make it. Right? Fucking okay.
Siege also.
Siege. But that's not a looter shooter type of game. That's more of a competitive type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
You still buy it. They're always putting new content that's you have to pay for, maps and stuff like that.
But like that line seems to be thin. Like Anthem flopped. Avengers flopped. Think Avengers flopped. Fucking Avengers,
yeah.
out of all things, flopped. You know, it looked like.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
yeah.
To be honest, I could see that a mile
We
away
all
the
saw
minute that
that.
they threw
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, what? Why are you tacking this bullshit onto this game? Just throw out this game as is, instead of having to have this whole looter thing. Nobody wants to do that in a fucking Avengers game, especially on a game that you don't have the control over what the characters look like. That's how That's how a portion of that looter shooter shit works. Is giving you the ability to customize your character with 1,000 bits of armor. You know,
you can. Here's the thing about Avengers. The game's so dumb. So you can customize different armors, but you don't even see it on them. they you know, you can see there's some other different character models, but the pieces that you pick up, you don't even see it on them. So what's the point?
Yeah, like I saw like one thing where it's like, oh yeah, we'll put this this armor piece on the Hulk, and it shows some shit glowing on his arm, but then the character doesn't have it. So it's like, what's the use? It's like, okay, if you're gonna go down this road and say, hey, you can get all kinds of armor and customize your characters the way you want, at least you want to see some sort of visual, you know, representation of it, right?
Yeah. You know what I find funny, right? When I was playing Miles Morales, bringing it back, right? I was playing that shit for 5 fucking minutes, and the first thing I thought was, why the fuck is an Avengers like this? That in the first 5 minutes alone, that game captures everything people want out of a Marvel property. It's exciting, it's funny, it's flashy. None of that in Avengers. You know, the whole campaign was just a tutorial for the stupid multiplayer. You know, and now the game's practically dead. You know, it's like, we talked about this before. Like it cost Square Enix lost a lot of money because of that game.
I suspect, yeah, especially paying for the IP and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I suspected that, you know, if it doesn't come, you know, push comes to shove, that Spider-Man shit might not even come out at the rate that they're going.
Well, think about it like this, right? We were supposed to get the next gen patch at launch, right? Spider-Man around this time. They were like, that shit's coming whenever now. They're just not even talking about it anymore because they know nobody cares, you know? And I know there's some people that like the game and they're hoping it gets better, but I'm like, that's already bad. If you have to hope a game gets better, you know, the game should be good when you fucking launch it, and it just continues getting better, you know?
I think people are hoping.
I mean,
for like
maybe.
What happened, Adam?
I think people are hoping for like a No Way Sky.
Hold on. Yeah, Adam,
You know
yeah.
You know how No Man's Sky took like a year, and then now people say, "Oh, this is what it should have been." I think that's what people are hoping for.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
man. Your face says it all.
even that, like, you know, there's not like, at least, you know, like, at least to an extent, No Man's Sky had something, but even then they just continue to improve and improve and improve, and you're not seeing any continuous incremental improvements on this game so far.
No,
granted, it's only been out for a few months. Granted, it's only been out for a few months, but still.
I mean, isn't the game going to be out on Game Pass?
We probably should just throw it in there by now. You know, may as well. Maybe it can salvage something, you know.
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah. So that bomb, that's like the, you know, Carlos, we could talk about this, right? The biggest disappointment of the year, objectively speaking, that is the biggest disappointment of the year. You know, fucking Avengers. You know, just how much money that shit lost.
That's a good one, but I still would disagree.
I wouldn't say that was a disappointment because it wasn't. Nobody cared.
Yeah. Oh no, it was you know, I agree with you. It was a disappointment for Square Enix, not for us. We saw that shit coming. I remember I saw a preview of this fucking game back in New York Comic Con last year, right? We were playing it. You know, it was a press event, right? We were playing the game, and I was like, "Hey, this game's okay. It's okay." So they sat us down to have like a, you know, after we did the hands-on, we sat us down to have like a hands-off presentation with the developers and shit. As soon as they showed the fucking microtransactions and the fucking looter part, you heard all of us, a bunch of journalists, just like a collective groan, like, oh fuck, here we go with this shit, you know. So yeah,
I mean, it always seemed a bit suspect to me. Like when I was at E3, like they were when I was at E3, they literally had that game locked up behind this giant like. You know, it looked like the Avengers Plaza, like it was all covered up and everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were trying to hide a huge ass fucking secret. Yeah, the huge secret was the fucking thing was a looter game.
Yeah, And then remember when it originally got shown, people were like, "Yo, what's up with those character?" The character models look like if they made a Avengers TV show and they got these knockoff characters that are supposed to look like the TV actors. You know, remember when you do that shit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that they decided to go with like generic versions of the movie Avengers when they could have just done their own Avengers. Really,
yeah.
I mean, it's Thor-ish, it's Captain America-ish. The guy kind of the Bruce Banner guy kind of looks a little like Mark Ruffalo.
It's fucking crazy, man.
The freaking Infinity War, the movie, is a better video game than the fucking video game is.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, why can't they make a level where, you know, Spider-Man and all of them are fighting Thanos, and it's like it looks at the fucking planet. That would make a fucking great set piece for a video game. But no, they have to thing, and it's like, you know, this trend, it's like, yeah, you're right. No one is like falling for these things because these are half-ass games for the most part.
Yeah, they are.
It's like, what's the best way, instead of what's the best way to show these gaming mechanics and to tell a story? It's more, what's the best way to get them hooked? And this is the way that, you know, we want to make these games. How do we hook them to make it the best profit? You know, so they can keep getting these microtransactions and you know, the carrot on the stick thing. And you know, that's why these games are failing.
It's not I feel like that game is not the type of game to do that sort of stuff with. You know?
Yeah, people wanted a kick-ass single-player game. That's what they wanted, you know? And instead they got this fucking looter nonsense. So, yeah.
And as far as the disappointment, I mean, it is disappointing, but as soon as this thing got announced, what was it, E3 or something?
Yeah, I think it was E3, yeah. Correct us if we're wrong.
It was a resounding meh.
Yeah, we were all like,
it was a resounding meh from that one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first time it was announced at E3, it was, you know, it was just that logo. That was the first one.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember where they actually announced that game. All I know is when we saw it, we were like, "What the fuck?"
That gameplay.
This is before we knew it was a looter, you know.
Yeah, when they showed the gameplay on the bridge, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Kind of sus, bruh. Kind of sus.
Yeah, and then the looter stuff came out, and it's like, oh yeah, nah, I'm not gonna. That's when we're all like, yeah, we're definitely not gonna play this.
Yeah, of course I had to because I had to fucking review the game. I beat it and everything, you know, hoping it was gonna get better. It didn't.
I think you're the only person that picked it up. They even had it.
Yeah, because I had to review it. Yeah, I was like, bruh.
So if you want to do the throwdown, Tony, on what's the biggest disappointment. You can do it now, or you can do it later.
Yeah, I mean, do we have anything else to say about Bioware?
Well, hopefully, I can't. I don't know.
All I know is I'm worried about them.
We keep saying hope.
Yeah,
but
you know what, Carlos? No, we're gonna save the biggest disappointment for the you know, the end of the generation podcast. We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it there. Oh, and I'm saying this on air right now because not last week, literally a couple of days ago, I said I don't know if we're gonna combine 2 episodes or split them off. No, we're going to do 2. I think it's better that way because there's a lot of things to talk about with this generation, you know. Beyond gaming, we got to talk about a lot of things. So, yeah, it'll be 2 episodes. So we'll figure out when we're going to do that. So that's an extra episode for you people of Throwdown.
Yo, are we going to talk about... No, I'll ask after the show.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
Actually, I don't know. You know, it could be anything.
Starts with a G.
Georgia?
I don't know, actually. All right, we'll talk about we'll talk about that. You know,
I'll text it.
Yeah. Text me that because I'm curious about what the fuck are you talking about. All right, so yeah,
I don't even know that happened this generation though. I forgot. Never mind.
But yeah, no. Again, I'm worried about Bioware, man. I'm worried about Bioware. You know, because again, if they don't perform, and remember, you know, going back, the hope, right? The hope now because they're gonna do Anthem. They're gonna give it the Realm Reborn treatment. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see about that, as Richard Bailey would say. We will see about that. But
we'll see about
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, they have to do that and the rumored new Mass Effect game. So, like, all hopes rest on that new Mass Effect game. Because if that's bad, then I think that's it.
Well, and that's a remaster. It's not even
no, they have like a rumored one like in the works, like a new Mass Effect game.
What?
Wait,
yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right. They talked about
rumored,
it.
I don't know if they've actually said that. Yeah, it's a thing or whatnot. But
yeah, I think it was a rumor. Because officially, at least the last thing I heard, Mass Effect is on hiatus right now.
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like, we're done for a while. Focused on other
But
projects.
Brian's right. That, people have been talking about Mass Effect 4.
Well, if
Mass
they're
Effect 5, excuse me, I should say.
if they're gonna do a Hail Mary, that's gonna be it to save the company.
Yeah.
It has to. I don't know if they can.
I don't know. The thing is, I was holding out for for Dragon Age to do it. I'm like, okay, Dragon Age is gonna do it. It's gonna do it. I don't know, man.
Well, Dragon Age wasn't. I don't think it was ever gonna do it, but it would have been a good starting.
It would have kept
spot.
them alive,
Yeah, it would have kept the ball rolling until the next big thing, because Dragon's Age, it's always been a pretty popular game, but it's never been a huge blockbuster seller.
No, not yeah. It hasn't been a failure either, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a failure.
By the way, yes, officially, Casey Hudson, who now no longer works for Bioware, during N7 Day this year. For you guys who don't know, that's the day where they celebrate all things Mass Effect. November 7th, he said they are working on the next Mass Effect game. There you go. As a matter of fact, let me quote him. Meanwhile, here at Bioware, a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. We're in early stages on the project, and I can't say any more just yet, but we're looking forward to sharing our vision for where we'll be going next. So there you go. Canceled. Yeah, he's gone now.
Canceled.
Bruh. I don't know, man. And the thing is, I'm thinking about the way Bioware used to be, man. That was a GOAT company, man.
Oh yeah,
that was a GOAT fucking company. Yeah. But
fucking KOTOR,
Mass Effect, Dragon Age, nobody's fucking with Bioware for a while, But I hate to say it, after EA, bruh.
Or all things good.
That's what EA does. They just they buy the studio. They use their money. They buy the studio and they they essentially suck the life out of everything, and then they just throw it away. It's like they're like a giant corporate vampire.
Oh shit!
We drink your blood.
You drink your blood.
Manny, do an impersonation of Gilbert Gottfried being Dracula. Talk about EA.
Drink. I am EA. I want to suck all of your franchises.
You cry.
But what's the other one? He hated and despised.
Hated and despised. Pull the string. I am the string puller.
Oh fuck! Fuck it. Oh man. All right. Go ahead.
This person is a lot deeper. It's that's like that.
Hated. I heard that from Howard Stern. He did that. Hated and despised.
Despised.
Before we do that, Carlos, what's your bone to pick with me, man? With Matt, with Last of Us 2, or does this have to be saved for the other show?
Yeah, it has to be saved for the other show. It has to do with the biggest disappointment. I think you're talking about this year. Yeah, of this year, the biggest disappointment in gaming.
Yeah,
you said it was Last of Us 2, and I think.
Oh, by the way, it's a personal thing. By the way, that's not objectively the worst, the most disappointing news of the year. It's a personal thing because I guess I should have put IMO there. Plus, I did. Just being honest. I did want to just jab. Poke the bear a little bit, see what happens. Oh man, did I poke that motherfucking bear, man?
Oh yeah.
Last of Us fans are something else, bro. So
I had to block you.
Damn, it's like that, bro. By the way, I'm surprised I didn't get ratioed. Because I think I had the last time I checked, which was a day ago, so maybe more. Man, last time I checked, I had 500 fucking replies. I'm like, shit, I've never gotten that many replies in my life. Usually it's a couple of hundred, but 500. But so you figured the likes would be really low? No, 4,000, 5,000 likes and shit. So I didn't get ratioed at least. That was good. But fuck, man. But today I was like, okay, why the fuck are Last of Us 2 fans so defensive? I'm like, okay, the game sold millions, right? It's critical darling. It's going to win every fucking award show. Why the fuck are you defending it like it needs to be defended? And then I come to find out that a lot of people unfairly lump in, people like me who are like, I don't know about this game, bro, with the crazies that were doing death threats. They're all just lumping them all together. I'm like, that's not fair, I'm just saying Abby didn't work for me, but the rest of the game was fucking good. That's what I'm saying. But they're lumping me in with the people that, I'm going to go kill these motherfuckers because they ruined the franchise. I'm like, bro, I've never advocated that shit. You shouldn't lump in everybody in that boat,
Mm-hmm.
No matter how.
What happened?
Yeah,
At?
no,
Man.
and the other thing is
Yeah.
the other thing is that no matter how much you hate something or you don't like something, that doesn't mean you need to go start threatening people.
Yeah.
Because of some shit. You know what? They did something you don't like. Move on. You know
Move
what?
on.
Don't buy the next one.
That simple
There
as
you go.
that. Yeah. Listen, this way this maybe I don't know if this maybe sound like an asshole, but I just fucking said it. I'm like, why don't people just do what I did? Like, get on a podcast and just state your fucking opinion. Anybody can start a podcast. If you notice, today or this week, I should say, was the first time I actually said anything on Twitter about The Last of Us. I had not said anything for months. I was like, let me do my podcast and I'm done with it. But since it's back in the conversation, I'm like, oh, I'll just say a little something.
You should have picked the podcast.
I did. But one of our fans, he was like, because he was really upset about this. He was like, are you going to do a Tony's take on this? I'm like, dude, I did a whole fucking podcast on it, man. Yeah. So I linked him to that. But yeah, I was just interested. I'm like, you guys are defensive as fuck, But I kind of get it now in a way. I'm like, okay, because they think that all the people criticizing it are the same death threat assholes. I'm like, that's stupid. Don't get me wrong. That's dumb to lump everybody together. But okay, if you think everybody's unreasonable, then I kind of sort of get it, even though it's stupid too. Manny, what were you gonna say?
I agree, but I still think it's silly that they would, they're not willing to listen for a couple of seconds and be like, hey, no. There's a little bit. It's more than just black and white. You fit in a little bit more in the gray area. It's like, yeah,
I've said it many times. I've said gameplay wise, it is arguably the best game Naughty Dog has ever put out from a gameplay perspective, right? Story wise, I had a problem with half of it. Abby specifically, I didn't care about her whatsoever. But again, if I'm trying to be objective, the things you do as her from a gameplay perspective were fucking dope. Right, so you can't really lump me into one category or another. There are things I like and there's things I didn't. But overall, it didn't. As people gave me grief about this, I put up my top 10 games of the year, my personal ones. Where's The Last of Us? Where's The Last of Us? What the fuck is wrong with you? Where's The Last of Us? Like, bruh, slow your roll, man. It's my fucking list. Relax.
It's your list.
It's hilarious. And every single time I said Ghost of Tsushima is my game of the year, which is still my game of the year. You're stupid. What about The Last of Us? It's a masterpiece. You don't? I'm like, okay.
Now we're calling names.
Yeah.
You dolt.
It's hilarious. I'm cleaning up that language. They didn't call me a dolt. They called me something else. It's hilarious, man. Hold on. To make it, he's like, I want to know what Brett's take on Last of Us. He didn't even play it. He refused to play it, right, Brett?
No, I played it.
Oh, you played the last? How did you finish it?
I got real close, and then I saw the end, and I was just like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the end. If you want to hear about the end, go to spoiler. But there you go, man.
Spoiler for that one.
Yeah.
So no, I played it. I honestly thought it was. Get ready to hate me, Chad. I thought it was pretentious garbage. Just because the story's different doesn't make it good. But that's just my opinion. I did not like it. Everybody's like, "Oh, the gameplay is awesome." It's like, yeah, the mechanics are awesome. Unfortunately, all the characters are unlikable, and the world is bleak and overbearing. It's just, it. When I say it's garbage, that's very much my opinion. Objectively speaking, I think it's for a different type. It is narrative, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. It makes you feel something cool. They did a good job on that, but what it is, not a fan. Just not a fan. But no, and also from a quasi-objective point of view, if you map out the storyline and kind of apply it to the story circle, it doesn't fit the formula. And I know that sounds like it might be a good thing, but the classic story arc or story circle is generally how you produce a well-rounded story. This was purposely throwing it out the window, and I'm generally not a fan of that because it just didn't feel like the hero's journey. And I know it's again not supposed to, but it just seems like a weird nihilistic attempt to be different for the sake of it, at the expense of story. So yeah, there's enough to piss everybody off.
There you
I
go.
don't even know how this is different. All these stories are the same, man. They're all these watered
Well,
down.
no, it was the ending that was different.
Yeah, we're not gonna
were
get to
like,
spoilers,
you
but
didn't
yeah,
expect.
yeah.
I know. I'm not. You say,
Yeah,
you
you
didn't
can
expect
discuss
that
it
to
in
happen.
broad strokes, yeah, because I'm assuming our fans have played the fucking game, but in broad strokes, yes, you could discuss it. Go ahead.
Yeah. They're like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. They're like, okay, well, Game of Thrones did a lot of that too, and look how that turned out.
Yes, it didn't do anything different. This game, for me, it's a good game. I just like I'm like Tony, except not as strong about that opinion. Like I thought the whole Abby part was so super jarring for me, and I wasn't the biggest fan.
I
But
mean, it's well made though.
Yeah, don't worry. We're
I
not
think
going
we
to
can all
spoil
agree
you
that
nothing,
it's well
guys. Don't worry
made.
about it. Don't worry about it. Again, we got a spoiler alert for that. Don't worry about it.
yeah, we're not gonna spoil it. The game is an extremely well made game. It's just the story aspects to it. It could have done better for me, but it's still overall I still think it's a good game. It's not a great game, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a good game. I'll give it that. It's
Yeah,
a good game.
it's a good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
It
it's
just shows that
nothing
Naughty
super
Dog
special.
could make a good Sarah Connor Terminator game if they wanted to. And that's it. That's what it felt like. When I was at Abby, I'm like, fuck, I'm Sarah Connor. This is dope. That's what I want. I want her to have her own game.
Saturday Connor.
It didn't have to be with Ellie again. I was over that shit from the first one. I was like, all right, I'm done with that. Tell me a new story. I want to be a new protagonist. Let's move on from that shit. And I liked it. And she was Diesel, and I like the fact that it wasn't like, oh damn, they made her Diesel. It's the other characters acknowledging she's Diesel. They're like, yo, your arms are thick. I'm like, yeah, exactly, they are thick. So it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. All right, man. The other thing I want to bring up here, this one's fun. Adam, you and I talked about this. How the Xbox Series S and X are emulation beasts. Apparently, so basically, you can actually go into like the developer mode of the console, right, and mess around with it.
$20. You pay $20.
$20
to do the dev. It's all legit. No, you're not giving $20 to some shady company. It is to MS, and they just pretty much through your account, they just activate it. So then you can switch to that mode. And then from that mode, there's a bunch of applications that you could install and sideload pretty much because, it's for development. And so there's people that have made versions, and the main one is RetroArch. If you go to retroarch.com, they have a bunch of emulators for, you name it, 3DS, and the Switch, everything. And anyway, you'll see the Xbox. It was available on the Xbox One X first. That's where I saw that before. A lot of people were doing that. But the big deal was to see if you could do it on this one. Yeah, and they were like, oh, nope, that's still carried over to the Series X. And a lot of games for the emulation run even better because of the hardware on there. So right now, I know there's one group that's trying to get PS2 games to work on it.
Well, they do have PS2 games running, actually.
Yeah, so they already got it.
They already did it. They already did it, yeah.
They got it running, but it's not like stable.
It's not great, though, yeah.
Oh, it's not great. Because the N64 one runs like a champ, and that's always been a pain in the ass to run on anything to get the N64 running. So to see people playing, Mario Kart and all those other ones, and Mario 64, and it's running with no issues. That's awesome. So it's great. Go ahead, do it, and it's legal. So that was very smart on their part to do some, because they know they could easily come up with some kind of back end tool just to block all those type of things, but they're not.
Yeah, and because Windows 10 is running on there, it makes it even easier. But it is kind of ironic. It's like, oh shit, you got PlayStation games running on an Xbox, yet those same PlayStation games can't run on PlayStation. PS1 and 2 specifically, I'm talking about, which is kind of funny.
I'm sure if Sony had some sort of thing in there that allowed people to develop for it, just like before, I'm sure they could probably figure out a way to get it to work on there too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it's just kind of interesting. But people are like, how come Sony doesn't? How come Because people thought it was a technical thing. No, it's not really a technical thing. Like I've said before, you can probably have PS1 and PS2 games running on PS5, no problem. It's the 3 games that are the problem. The fucking cell architecture. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it would need its own dedicated crew to making sure that it works.
Yeah, I guarantee you right now that Xbox ain't going to be emulating no PS3 games.
I don't think that Sony is willing to put in the money on making legacy work.
Yeah, I honestly believe if it wasn't for the PS3 being what it is, I think Sony would have copied Microsoft and had full backwards compatibility. I really think so. but they can't because of the PS3 is the problem. That's the problem. A lot of people don't seem to understand. They're like, why can't they do it? Microsoft did it. Microsoft has had the same basic shit the entire time. Carl, so you could tell me what's inside the Xbox, but they're all the same shit basically. Was it Direct 10 or some shit like that? I don't know what the fuck they had, but it's been the same shit the whole time.
DirectX.
Yeah. It's the whole time from the first Xbox to now. So they could do that.
Of it,
yeah. But that's why Microsoft is able to do that.
Also in the name, it's the Direct Xbox. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, because a lot of people thought it was the X for Extreme, which I guess it could, but it was really the Direct Xbox.
It was DirectX.
I feel like it's been around since even before the Xbox.
No, DirectX was a thing before Xbox, but that's what it was originally going to be called. It was going to be Direct Xbox because it was based off of that API that they use.
Yeah, but then they dropped the Directs, and it was perfect. Early 2000s, right? X Extreme, all that shit. But yeah, so PlayStation emulation, on PlayStation, I don't see it happening, but you could do it on Xbox. So I joked. I didn't tweet this. I just did it personally. I was just like, hey, there's a reason to get an Xbox now. Play old PlayStation games.
Play your old games.
But it's cool. I was like, if you got RetroArch, I wonder if you get MAME on that bitch. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, you can get MAME.
I think that's running on there.
Because remember with RetroArch, as you've seen, when you have all the emulations that you can have run on there. So then you just select the one that you want, you download it, and if that one doesn't work, just try another one. Yeah. Remember the emulation when we went through that whole thing with the X-Men?
That's right. Yeah. We went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but eventually we found one that worked. Yeah. And it's the same thing that applies here. That's why we tell people just to go with the RetroArch because everything's built into it, as opposed to having to hunt down individual ones. Like I definitely know the PSP one works fine. I've seen people play God of War on there and stuff. So if you want to play the PSP games.
Adam, is it $20 a month or just straight up $20?
It's straight up $20.
Straight up $20, okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe I should buy myself an S just to have it as an emulation thing. Might be interesting. Even though I probably won't even. I'll have it in just like I do with my little RetroPie. I play it like once in a while and then I forget about it.
It sits there and collects dust.
No, I just collect because I keep it in a dresser. It's good. By the way, shout out also to Jose Polanco. He did that for me. He made the little thing for me and programmed it and all that. So good stuff. All right, that's pretty much gonna do it for all the shit we got to talk about. So what's up, man?
Wait, what about Kenichiro Toyama, man?
What was that?
Kenichiro Toyama, man.
All right, you fill us in. Yeah, like I said, right now, if you guys want to fill in any random thing.
Even Brian posted this in our little chat.
Oh, the Japanese guys that left. Okay. So tell us what's going on, man. Who is he and what's happening?
So Kenichiro Toyama is the original director of Silent Hill, the original PlayStation game. After that, he had left Konami and he had went to Sony, and he had been working at Sony for years doing the Siren series. He also directed the Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2. And recently, he and a bunch of other what did they call it? Japan studio guys were let go, and the people that have been let go are some pretty serious people. Like the game designer to the puppeteer, and a bunch of other guys are going to supposed to be joining them too. And they decided to create their own company. Since they're out of a job. So it's going to be interesting to see them kind of come together and do something new. They did, and they also released a little video, sort of showing, kind of unveiling the company, and also sort of semi showing what they might be working on, which is might be a new horror action game.
Did they get fired or did they leave?
They got let go.
Uh-oh.
They got Sony. You're going to hear this all over the place right now because it's end of the year. It's getting close to the end of the year. Companies want to look like they're making money to their investors, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to cut a shitload of things. So that's what happened. A bunch of people. It looks like a bunch of people from Japan studio got let go. This is not. I mean, this isn't something that was inevitable. It was going to happen. There were going to be cuts. So yeah, so they lost a bunch of pretty decent people. But he did say if he is as a developer, he wants to also leave the door open if Sony ever wanted to work on Gravity Rush 3 or Siren 5, he wanted to also leave that door open, as well, if they wanted him to come back and do it. So there you go. It's unfortunate, but it also means that he has a whole new bit of freedom. In their interview, he sort of said, like, he kind of wanted to get back to the fun part of actually making games. It sort of made it sound like working at Sony was a little bit difficult for him, a little bit heavy. I'm sure, because they probably are on his ass. Hey, when are you gonna get this thing out? By the way, some of the other people that also left, that are also let go with him, were also some team members from The Last Guardian. So it seems like a pretty big fleet of folks that they just pulled out of that they kind of let go. So there you go.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. Since we're doing that, does anybody want to bring up any random gaming thing they want to just throw it out there? Go ahead, man.
Brian.
Uh-oh.
What up?
I don't remember. Are you gonna play Cyberpunk Day One?
I got a pre-order like last year, April.
So that's a no. Okay, thanks.
You know what?
I'm playing Day One.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Let's talk about Cyberpunk, man. Brian, what are you excited about with Cyberpunk, man? I'm going to interview you.
So the CD Projekt Red, and I think that they are one of the few gaming studios out there that actually want to make good games, not just make money and make controversy like Naughty Dog. And I think that I honestly believe that they're one of the few gaming studios out there that have actual talent, and they're able to actually think outside the box and say, hey, let's actually make a new game. Let's do something better and different, not just different for the sake of being different. Like
Brian, they had the controversy with the whole gender thing. Remember, people getting all bitchy about that.
Okay, that was not their controversy. It's just people that don't understand what Cyberpunk is, i.e., dumb people. Because if you actually know what Cyberpunk is, you know that what that poster stood for was the idea that corporations were pretty much selling you this idea and getting you to buy stuff, which again is part of the Cyberpunk mythos, if you wish. So it's like, yeah, in the future, you would expect corporations to want to exploit every single aspect of human life in order for you to buy stuff. Like that's Cyberpunk. That's part of it.
You mean kind of like our world, right?
Exactly. It's like all this company is saying, hey, here's some white text on a black background. Buy our shit. It's like, what? Okay. Yeah. So
or show your support for a hashtag movement.
Yeah, it's just people that just don't understand how that works, and they're like, oh, there's like genitals in here. It's like, what do you expect corporations to do? Like, not exploit people, like for their own profit? Like, that's a bit dumb. So yeah, people just didn't understand that. But yeah, I genuinely think that they are one of the few studios out there with talent and with passion and with good ethos. I mean, they are part of the GOG, they own part of GOG, Good Old Games, which gives you DRM-free games, which means that you can literally download the game, put it on anything, and it works. No problem. No DRM, no nothing. So I literally did that with Unreal Tournament. I downloaded it, put it on a bunch of PCs, and had a LAN party. No issues. Again, pure 100% no DRM. That's the whole policy. And these days, they're actually getting some really big games in there. The last big game that actually got released there was Horizon Zero Dawn. So now that is available DRM free and only on PC. To me, that's good ethos. So now I've started actually building my game library on GOG because I believe in that, and plus it's cheaper most times. So yeah.
And also not to mention GOG's preservation. They have a bunch of development a bunch of development groups that essentially get old ass games working on there. I mean, recently the big one was the Blade Runner game that they got working on there. That game had been the source code for that game had been lost, and these guys managed to get it to work. So there you go.
Yep, and that's like another good thing. It's like with no DRM, you can actually preserve these games, and like they are there, quote unquote, permanently now. Because again, without any DRM, you just simply put them on a PC or who knows, Xbox. I don't know what's a stupid name twice removed.
Xbox Series S.
No, like worse than
Xbox
that,
One
or
X,
twice.
One S.
No, worse than that, but twice as much. Brett, just name a thing.
What are you talking about?
Just name a thing, Brett. Just name a thing. Just name anything. Just something random that comes.
Toast.
Yep. On the Xbox Toast, you might be able to emulate these PC games and put them on there. And that's what I mean by it is preserved now. It's now there, and which is fantastic. 'Cause again, stuff like MAG, I bought MAG, I played it, I have the disc. Disc is useless since service no longer exists anymore. I can't even get the source code to it or even look at the files because it just doesn't work. Whereas if it's there on PC with no DRM, it's there all the time now, and I think that's just brilliant.
Did you buy
But
the
yes,
hat?
people can argue that it leads to piracy. Piracy is bad. True, but at the same time, I think we need to start preserving these games because we've seen what happens when they get lost. Like, was that one game? I think it was Silent Hill, where like they lost the source codes and then they tried to like remake it or something.
Yeah, well, it was for Silent Hill. Was that it was an old source code, and the company that was supposed to be there to remaster it, well, Konami in general did not have a really good system for keeping versions of the game. So when they handed over the source code, it was an old version of the source code, and they were essentially using the old game to sort of figure out what was, what needed to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of a clusterfuck. That's why that remaster that they did came out so lousy.
So yeah, so that's why I like CD Projekt Red.
So Brian, I have a question. So I'm gonna get Cyberpunk day one. I want to play it on my PS5, and I don't know. I don't know whether they're consolidating all this information, but can I buy the PS4 version and be set for PS5?
Yeah, I think that's what you're gonna get, man. They're not releasing the next gen update
No,
until later.
But sometimes they lock the PS4 version only for the PS4.
Not this one.
No, they said you could upgrade. They say you could upgrade.
Yeah.
This is CD Projekt Red. These are the guys that told you not to buy the DLC until you know what's in there. What other gaming company is saying that?
They're like, everybody else is like, buy the DLC. It's so great. Yeah.
Pre-order the DLC even,
Pre-order the DLC before you actually buy the game.
And I'm going to bring this up every single time because it's one of the shittiest things I've seen. Batman Arkham Knight. They literally had the launch trailer and announced the DLC at the same damn time. That's disgusting.
Season pass also, remember? It was like $50 or some shit.
It's like in the same trailer, like you announced the game and the DLC is at the end. Like are you seriously me? Like the game's not even out yet.
Yeah, remember Brett has never played that game.
Yeah, he didn't play because of that. The Catwoman DLC.
Yes, Carlos, this is CD Projekt Red. It is guaranteed. Like you get it.
Yeah. By the way, I got next. I got a couple of questions for Brian after this. Go ahead, Carlos.
So I'm buying. So it's if my purpose is to play it on the PS5, I should just buy. There's a discounted version of the PS4, like it's $49.
Just wait, dude.
Yeah,
the PS5 version is not ready to come out yet. It's not going to be. They're going to release a patch. I think
I don't care about
next year.
I don't care about the updates. I just care about playing the game on the best console.
Then play it on your best console is your PC. That one is the one that's going to shine. So just play it on PC.
Yeah, you want to play it on PC. It's not going to be optimized, and you're not going to get the real Cyberpunk experience until Did they say 2021? I feel like
mid 2021.
Well, it has to be 2021 because this fucking year's over.
I guess that's true. Yeah,
it's just not happening early in the year. It's not like, oh yeah, don't worry, in January, February. No, they're talking about mid.
Oh, is that what they said officially?
Yeah, they said.
Okay, so I haven't heard anything. Oh, by the way, Carlos, you need that RTX card though, brother, if you want to get the most out of this game.
Yeah, I don't want to get it on. I don't want to get it on PC until I don't want to play real games on my PC until I update this shit.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, I'll tell you to wait. I'm waiting.
Yeah, just
I'm
wait. What
waiting,
I'm doing is I'm gonna play Cyberpunk when I get my new PC. That's when I'm with the RTX 3080. That's when I'm waiting. I want everything, all that
Because
shit.
but
you
you
know?
also know what's going to happen, just like all the other games that have the cross-platform. Once you switch over, all your progress, all that shit drops to zero. All your chivos disappear. Your save file
But
carries
Adam,
over.
but Adam, this is CD Projekt Red here.
It's not their. That's not their fault. This is just the OS. This is how the PlayStation shit works. It has nothing to do with Project Red.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all I wanted to know, because I want to play this day one. Because if I don't
Carlos,
play
the
day
game
one,
has uncapped frames, so you're gonna get at 60 frames a second. So you
Okay,
know,
that's
since
good to
it's a
know.
PS4 game, because basically what happens is, Digital Foundry, thank you to them who figured this out. Any game on PS4 and Xbox One that you run on the new console that has uncapped frames will run at 60 frames.
Nice.
So there you go. So, but just remember, you are playing the PS4 version of Cyberpunk on day one.
Yeah, not the PC version.
Yeah.
I still have an RTX 1080 Ti, and it's on its last legs, man.
Shit.
It's a good card, but I can't do 4K. I can barely do 1440 on ultra with from ultra wide screen. So might as well just do it on a PS5.
Yeah.
Oh, and Adam, they have said that your saves will carry over.
No.
from
The
PS5.
saves do carry over. It's the progress. It's the PlayStation side that's screwy. All my saves carried over from my games, but it threw my progress down to 0, and all my trophies are locked. Even so, if I'm on level 3, level 1 and 2 are still locked, and I can't get them to unlock unless I switch it back, because it counts it as a completely different game. Because it's like, oh, well, that was on the 4 version. You're on the 5. Yeah, but the save file carried over. Yeah, so what? So my progress, I took screenshots.
Yeah, that's a
of that.
PlayStation thing, Brian. That's not something CD Projekt Red could actually work around.
That doesn't seem right to me, because
It is not right. It's not right.
It's not right
No,
at all. It's
because-
kind of fucked up, but that's the way it is.
when I transferred my GTA 5 from PS3 to PS4, like I got all the trophies that I did up to that point in the storyline. So hence why I'm confused. Like, why can't they do it now for 4 to 5?
They need to do it. That's
Who the
whole
fuck
thing,
knows, man?
hopefully
Jim
that'll
Ryan,
happen.
bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, fuck Jim Ryan.
Fuck Jim Ryan, man. All right, Brian, I got a couple of questions/comments. Mostly comments. Okay, you said you did a LAN party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was this before the Rona?
Oh, of course.
All right, just making sure, bruh.
Like 2-3 years ago.
Like, motherfucker, you crazy, you doing a LAN party right now with the Rona.
He's
You
like,
know?
yo, I
They
did
got a
that shit
vaccine,
before.
so
Yeah, that's
Would you like
that's right. I
LAN
heard
party in, like,
fucking
states?
I heard Europe is going to be getting that shit first. You fucking
Well, the
we
UK
made that
That's-
fucking
but
shit. We
wait,
should
wait.
be getting it first. You know?
This
Okay,
is good.
hold on.
This is when we get to see them go I am legend and turn into those fucking.
Oh, that you know
mutated
what? Yeah, you're right. You know what? You guys go ahead. Go ahead. Take the vaccine,
We
bruh.
do it first.
Go
That's
ahead.
all.
Do it for Queen and country. You know?
Yeah, man.
We'll be over
That
here
was-
chilling. You're right about that. Keep that shit, man.
that
Courtesy
was
of
the
us.
premise
Go
of
ahead, man.
Don't
I made
worry
the cure
just
for
yet.
cancer, and it mutated people.
Okay, they have said that it is going to start happening this month, but it's only going to be for like the old people. So mostly people like 65 years and over. So
And essential workers. Right?
yeah, they're not. If they turn
Yeah.
into zombies, they're not going to be that nimble. So yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I kind of laugh. I'm like, yeah, I'm imagining like old zombies, like fucking grandma coming after you. You know, eat your brain, sonny. You know.
Unless it's Watch Dogs, you don't gonna be.
Oh
Scared.
yeah, that Murder Granny. Shout out to Murder Granny, man. All right, and the other one was okay, Brian. So you said that you like CD Projekt Red because they do new original games, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so just to make sure, so we got The Witcher based on a book, and then we got Cyberpunk based on a board game. Yeah, just
as
put
in,
that
like-
out there. Just put that.
I'm not saying that the IPs are new. All I'm saying is that they do new stuff. Like
I'm
they
just saying
try
they're
to
like a
do new stuff.
glorified fucking Telltale games. You know, it's like licensed games basically. You know, just putting that
No,
out there.
I mean, like,
you know,
I mean, like the stuff they do in the game, they try to do new things with it. It's not just like, hey, let's just play it safe and do a fucking Ubisoft game over and over again, Sony, or let's just do Halo and Gears, Microsoft, or let's just do Mario like fried 7 different ways, Nintendo. They actually try something different. Like, hey, let's take this idea and let's put some stuff in there that we want to put in there. Like, let's put in like a massive world with cool characters, with good side stories, because games don't seem to have good side stories. I understand what that is. You know, like, oh, okay, let's have a Cyberpunk game. Like, let's have it where you can customize your genitals for the fun of it. Why not? You know,
Saints Row did
Like,
that,
they
but
are-
we're not going to get
they-
into technicalities. here.
Tony,
they put the effort in there. That is what I'm trying to say. They don't play it safe.
I mean, after 8
games
years,
these
they
days-
better.
Most games these days are incredibly safe. Like when was the last non-safe game you played?
Death Stranding.
Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is a remake, doesn't count.
FIFA 21.
Yeah, Brian,
Motherfuckers
Death Stranding. That's a
keep putting my
AAA game.
legs.
That was not a like it was a AAA game in terms
Yeah.
of like money, but they didn't do anything conventional at all. You know.
And then before that,
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but again, like
I'm fine.
yeah, like Brett said, just because something's different doesn't mean it's good. You know. Just
See,
throwing that out there.
that's the thing. Like I'm saying that these guys are trying something. Like they're not playing things safe. Like games are very safe these days, which is why they bore me because they're very safe and boring. But
They're just trying to
with
make
these guys-
Shadowrun though.
Probably not.
Shadowrun did come out and it
Yeah.
was garbage.
Shadowrun Returns.
The OG one, not the-
OG
not
one
the
was good. It
return.
was on iOS and stuff.
OG one was
I like
good.
that one. Yeah, we did the Shadowrun Return. But do you have Watch Dogs Legions on PlayStation?
Who
or
me?
it's
No,
just
I have it on PC.
Because in March, that's the one big news that came out in March. That's going to have 4-player co-op for the
Oh
campaign.
really? Oh, too late for
Yeah,
that. We'll
that'll
be
be
gone
fun.
already, bruh.
Where are you going?
I said I'm good. I'm be playing something else. I'll probably be playing Ratchet and Clank. You know,
Oh.
Brian's favorite game. You know,
Oh,
Again,
Brian. I
like,
still can't believe you said that shit. Pokemon Snap over Ratchet and Clank, really, bruh?
yeah, come on, it's Ratchet and Clank. Like
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank's the fucking shit. Fucking Pokemon. Fuck that shit, man.
how many
Really?
times can they do this? Like to me, it just seems like the same thing over and over again. And it's like
And Pokemon
I-
isn't.
it's Pokemon Snap again. As I said, it's just the closest thing I have to Fatal Frame. That's it. Like
All right.
I'm not even saying that. Yes, I want it because it's Pokemon Snap. I just want it because I want to see what they can do with a Fatal Frame game. Like it's like just think of it as a proof of concept
Fatal
for Fatal
Mon.
Frame. Yeah, it's a proof of concept, if you wish. You know, it's Rockstar table tennis to Fatal Frame.
whoa.
Oh, Adam,
Hey.
you should say that.
Easy, easy,
He's like, those are the words. Don't you ever say those
I'm
words.
telling you, to this day, the Rockstar Table has no competition in that market.
Hey,
Still
I
the
mean,
king.
it works for the new one, so you're good.
Oh man. So there you go.
Well,
At least
they're over.
Brian. Yeah, at least Brian's excited for Cyberpunk. I mean, the rest of us are probably gonna play it just later. You know,
Yeah, I'm not.
I could wait. Man, you don't give a fuck either way, do you?
I don't care. I mean, but my reasoning is petty as Brett's. You can't fucking see your character. You spend all that goddamn time on that fucking character,
You can see
putting
them in
fucking
mirrors.
putting glowing jackets on and shit, and you can't even see it. You can look in a
You can
mirror.
See them in the mirror. That's the whole
Oh,
point. Like,
whatever.
They don't let you switch.
Yo,
to
with
the-
that ray
mirrors
tracing, right, Brian?
with the ray tracing that they have in there, right?
Yeah, damn, to make it fuck. That's harsh, bruh.
What's up?
He says Brian makes him ashamed to be part of the Commonwealth. Damn, bruh.
Damn.
What?
don't hate. Don't hate.
I
me
mean,
because
you
I'm
know,
right.
what's with the hate, Dumeke?
No, he's joking around.
I'm pretty sure he's joking.
He's joking. He's joking.
I don't know, man. No.
Yeah. And plus, like, I find that just really petty that you can't see yourself and you're mad about it. Like,
I'm not
doesn't
mad
mean
about it.
that-
I just, to be honest, like,
He doesn't
to
like
be
FPS.
honest, to be honest, I don't like first-person games. I've
Yeah.
only played like a few games of first-person games ever because I don't care for them. So
Yeah, I think it's more petty that they decided not to put in third person, even though people were asking for it 6 years ago.
Yeah, I thought what happened to CD Projekt Red, man, being the ill company. What happened, man? They ain't giving people what they want.
yeah, well, you know, apparently that's the way they see this game. It's only from, but yet and all, the game goes into third person when you get in the fucking car. What the fuck
But
is
you
that shit?
Was it Fallout let you go third person, right? I remember flicking.
Yeah,
a
you can
button.
do. You can switch
All
back
that you
and
can
forth.
do first
Oh, you
or
can do
third.
that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play. You
Yeah,
can
that's
play
what
it
people were
in
asking
first
for. And CD Projekt said no.
person. No.
No, deal with it.
But I thought
Well,
they
you
were
don't
CD
have to.
Projekt Red.
Oh,
Future gain options. You know?
I thought they could do. I thought that they could do no wrong. They listen to the people. I'm the people.
You're
The
that's right,
people.
you're the people.
I'm
You're
the people.
And plus, if you want to see yourself,
Still people.
there's like the camera mode, so you can just like watch yourself in glorious pictures.
Adam.
It's you in third person, like it does make a difference. How many times in third person, like, are you fighting and like, do you actually see like, oh, that's like a nice jacket that I have
all
on?
the time.
No, you don't do that. No,
Brian,
you
are
do
your
not.
arms hurting from this much
You are
stretching?
looking at the thing that you're shooting. I'm sorry. Like, how many times in Mass Effect have you been in like, damn, Shepard's thighs? There's some nice thighs. You never
Fem
look at
Shep
Shepard's
all
thighs
the
when you're
time.
shooting.
All the time.
When you're
Yeah, my
fighting,
femship
you
got a
look at Fem Shep.
fatty ass, man. Can't see that shit in first person.
Think how whack Assassin's Creed would have been if it was in first person. That third person, those
It actually would have been really
death
good,
shots.
actually.
Oh
Adam's having a fucking hernia right now, son.
no!
Oh no, too much.
Did Adam just say like how whack AC would be in first person? I think that'd be amazing.
No,
Like,
keep that shit. No, that would be stupid in first person. You
Oh.
couldn't see nothing. You couldn't
With
see
all the
yourself.
parkour, again, if they
It's
can make that
because of the
work,
parkour that should keep it third person, man.
You remember the one game that did do parkour? Remember that game, Mirror's Edge? Yeah.
Oh no!
Where is that right now?
To be fair, Brian, you could back me up on this one. Brett too. To be fair, Dying Light does first person
Exactly.
parkour excellently.
that's what I
Throw
said.
that
Like,
there.
if they do it well, then.
But I don't
it'd
want
be-
that shit in my Assassin's Creed. Keep that away.
Yeah, but in Dying Light, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're wearing.
Yeah, that is true.
It's just a dirtbag.
Yeah, my
Just,
thing
you're
was
just a pair of hands.
yeah. My thing.
You
with
know what they
Cyber-
should do?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just
go
saying,
ahead.
my thing with Cyberpunk has, I don't, with the camera angle, that doesn't bother me, even though I agree with you and Manny and Brad, like, yo, I can't see my fucking character, but that's not really, my thing is, I'm just historically not a fan of the genre, right? Too fucking bleak, because I'm pretty sure that's what our actual future is going to look like. Like, I prefer Star Trek, like utopian, like, hey, we're actually going to fix our fucking, like, no, let me finish my thought, Brett. So, I prefer utopian sci-fi, right? We're going to get our shit together in the future. We're going to have a bright, sunny future. Some hardships, obviously, but we can overcome it as humans. Cyberpunk is just like, all right, here's an oppressive government doing all this fucking bullshit, corporations running everything. That's kind of bleak, but that's probably what's going to happen in the real world. I'm like, I kind of want to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Brett. What are you going to say?
I was gonna say, whoa, you can't have a consistent opinion based across multiple genres of games.
Okay.
You don't like bleak games, man.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of don't, to be honest.
I think that's one of the reasons you
But
didn't like
Doom.
Last of
Doom's
Us.
Doom's kinda dark.
Doom is hardcore action metal.
What happened?
That's
Oh yeah,
totally
Doom is fucking metal as fuck.
Doom there's a difference. There's empowering stuff, and then there's not. There's stuff that's not empowering. So I feel like, I mean, granted, I'm sure you can become empowered in the new Cyberpunk game, but I can see why Tony wouldn't like that sort of game.
No, it's not the game. I'm talking about the genre. I think the gameplay looks like it's fucking Deus Ex. So I think I'll like the gameplay.
But wait. What? Why? I mean, you like Deus Ex.
There's a difference. Though. And I realized this about myself, right? The only Cyberpunk I like are where the story is around the police officers or law enforcement trying to fix this fucked up world. When it's like based on the regular person who's just like a fucking druggie in his house with a VR headset, I'm like, this is too much, But if it's like Ghost in the Shell or something where or Deus Ex, we're like, okay, we're trying to bring order to this madness, then I like it. That's why I like Deus Ex. I'm playing as a cop. I don't know about Cyberpunk. I don't know if you play a villain or a good guy. I'll probably try to play a good guy and try to clean up everything as much as I can. But again, my problems do not stem with any of the gameplay. It's purely because of the genre. I've never been a fan of Cyberpunk. Traditionally, unless it's like, again, there's always exceptions to the rule. Ghost in the Shell is probably the main one. It's like, okay, we're at least trying to fix this stupid fucked up world. But yeah, but again, I'm still gonna play the game, but I just want it on a tricked out PC, all that shit, ray tracing, 144 frames a second, like I want it all,
Well, that's the way I felt. I was like, oh, am I gonna play this? And that's over at the Coalition one. It was like, oh, what are you gonna play it on? I was like, you know what? We got a PC guy who's got a souped up PC with souped up video card. He'll get the best experience and he'll get the best review of it. Because if we play it on the current gen, like we mentioned, we're not getting that.
Yeah, you're not playing the PS5 version. You're playing the PS4 version.
Exactly. So it's not going to be up to par. So I was like, we'll pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game will be good. But we'll see. I just hope the combat's good. I can't vouch for this myself, obviously, but the one thing I keep hearing consistently is like The Witcher has some of the worst combat ever. But then at the same time, I also hear Witcher has the best combat ever. So there's like no middle ground with The Witcher, which is kind of
Who
interesting.
told you those lies?
What
You
happened?
should try it out and see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try it.
well,
I'm sure you have it.
Actually,
Remember on your PC? You got
yeah,
the whole
actually,
thing for
there's Brian. Pay attention now, Brian. They are going to release a upgraded version of The Witcher 3 on PC and consoles. That's when I'm going to jump in, bro.
Go for it.
But remember our agreement.
Oh yeah, I'll play Far Cry Primal.
Yes, and then you're going to get like Tony. This is exactly the caveman game I've always wanted, bro. Because literally, when you were naming all the things you wanted in a caveman game, like Brian, all that shit's in Far Cry Primal, bro. So yeah, you heard it here first, people. And Brian Wilson, I know you're listening, bro. I know you're listening. I will play The Witcher 3, man. I will play The Witcher 3. And will I beat the game? I don't know, but we'll see. But I will play it. I'll give you that, and I'll see how good or bad this combat is. It's crazy. All right, man. Let's talk about any other random gaming things you guys want to throw out there.
Can you just add in like something really quick? To what
By the
you
way,
said?
people, we're not ending the show. We're going to move on to the games we've been playing next. So we still got more show for you. Anyway, Brian, go ahead.
Okay, whoever says that Witcher 3 has the best combat, they are wrong. It's not the best. It's just not as bad as people say it is. And also, one of the things I noticed with Cyberpunk is that they have a streamer mode, meaning that if you turn that on, it turns all the music to DMC-free music and turns off all the nudity. So that way, when you stream the game, you don't get banned, unlike other games. So that's what I mean by they are trying, like where the game has that.
No, you're right. Most games you have to just go into the options and turn off music,
Exactly. Like these guys give a damn. These guys care. They think about things. They just don't want you to do it in third person because no, that's not their vision.
Does that mean they also have a game journalist title too?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I'm an asshole.
Oh man. All right. All right. So yeah, Adam, you got anything random you want to toss in there?
Yeah, is your cousin in the chat?
My cousin?
Yeah.
No, you mean the voice of God?
No, the other one.
Oh no, my nephew.
My
nephew?
Yeah, nephew.
Oh no, I don't. Let me see. I don't think he is. No, he's not there.
Because for Arcade 1-Up, a lot of their stuff got delayed, and then my Marvel pinball machine got pushed to February. That shit was supposed to get pushed out on December.
You talking about the cousin, or are you talking about the unofficial cousin?
He's got a lot of family.
I was about to say, like, my nephew, my cousin, Jose. Like, who are we talking about? I'm like, you're talking to my nephew, bro? What the fuck?
I think he's talking about Joey.
Okay, he's talking about Joey. Okay, Jose. Yeah, okay, got you.
Yeah, they were the one that did that one because we were talking about it. And remember, he was asking if there's any of the newer ones that I'm going to get. Well, the only one I was looking forward to really getting is the pinball, and that just got delayed. That was supposed to ship December 15th, and now they're saying sometime in February. So that sucks. I was really looking forward to that. I didn't tell the kids. I wanted to be the surprise, a big wrapped box next to the tree. Like, what is it? I don't know. What is it? And then when
for daddy.
Exactly. And we wrap it. They look at, pinball, that's whack. And then I just play all day.
That's how you have it all planned out.
Crazy. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. What games have we been playing lately? Adam, we'll start with you because you're always the guy who plays the most games.
Let me see. What else. I was just playing that Super Mario Brothers 35th. Crazy about it, but I was playing that. Playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, also on the Switch. The remaster, pretty good. Works great. I mean, there's some pop-ins, but that's expected. It's running on the Switch. FIFA 21 PS5 version was supposed to drop on Friday, but they did an early release for it. So that was yesterday. Been playing that. That looks really good, really smooth. It's like a lot of the cuts that they do to the crowd just looks legit. So I'm enjoying that. What else? Borderlands 3 on PS5, and that's I'll bring up. It crashed. This is the first time like my PS5 hard crashed twice playing that in co-op. So we're doing some stories. We wound up going back to the main ship, and then all of a sudden it froze, and I could hear them, and then the whole PS5 just shut off, just off. Turned on, then I had to do the whole system check shit, blah blah blah. They sent me another invite. I jumped back into the game. 2 seconds later, while in the game, hard crash again. So that's a thing that's happened to me. What else? There was some more stuff that I've been playing besides that. Yakuza, Like a Dragon, playing that.
Game of the year
also
for you, right?
Game of the year. That shit is so fucking crazy. You know, when you get the call-ins where you like summons, I got this guy. It's early on, but it's still one of the fun ones. He's in a diaper because he's part of this group of guys that just like dress up. Yeah, and then it's like he just cries like a baby, and that just pops everyone's eardrums and shit. Got another dude who has really bad breath, and he breathes out, and it's like you see everybody choking and stuff. Really cool. Love that game. You know, and there was one other thing that I was just telling you. Oh yeah, and then the Watch Dogs. But the Watch Dogs one I found I only really picked up because in March, that 4-player co-op, that's gonna be dope. To play that in that world, in that environment, to do missions together. I was like, oh, this changes things up. And then still some Division, doing the Division. That was some other news.
Adam, we're gonna play Division when they do the 60 FPS update. That's coming.
That's
March.
coming March. That's coming March. That's gonna be dope. But there was something else that was supposed to come with it, a new game mode that was gonna be over at that college campus. They were hinting at it in the trailer, and a lot of people thought it was gonna be like a zombie mode or something. But they scrapped it. They said yesterday on Tuesday. What's today? I'm losing track of the days. Every day seems the same. But someday during the live stream I was watching, and they were like, yeah, listen, we can't do it because of all the issues that were going on. And we're doing patches and stuff. We just didn't have time. So that mode is there. But all the goodies that comes with that mode, they're going to release through another event. So like, you know, weapons and gear and all that stuff. They're going to do some kind of a global event, and we'll be able to get the stuff from there. So that's always cool. Everybody likes loot, right? That's what you play these loot shooters for. So give me more loot. You know, they did some updates for the summit. They got new loot for that too. Apparently there was some whack-ass loot. The only time we really played was that one time that we played. I tried to play by myself. I can't get past the 5th level by myself. Can't do it. You need a crew. But apparently when you beat the boss, people were getting whack shit. So they changed it up. And
like, whack!
They're like, wow, you can't play that. And then I feel like there's one other game that I've been playing. And Call of Duty. Yeah, that was playing Call of Duty. And I realized that after spending, 20, 30 some hours just in the multiplayer outside of that one, I prefer Modern Warfare. It just doesn't add up right now. This just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is.
You're not into the World War II?
Uh-oh.
Well, it's not World War II. It's the 1980s.
Yeah, Black Ops.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's got all those weapons, and it's just not this. I don't know. It's not the same. It feels great, but again, I had to turn off the haptic feedback. And that's why I'm actually thinking, because I had to turn that off, and I know I'm not doing a campaign anymore, I might just delete the PS5 version, download the PS4 version, so that way that goes straight up on to my external, and I free up some of that valuable SSD space. Because I was like, if I'm not using the haptic feedback, then that's the main feature that you use when it comes to the multiplayer. Then what's the point? It's just regular multiplayer, and I'm really not having as much fun as I do in the other one. Even the zombies mode, I spend a lot of time mainly in zombies, and it's okay. You're running around, and they get faster and all that stuff, but it's like, it gets old quick. At least for me, it does. So, and that's it. Those are the games I've been playing.
All right, Carlos, man, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing Miles Morales. I've been playing Heroes of the Storm. I've been playing. That's it. Yeah, man. Miles Morales is that game. It's even though it's a standalone DLC game, it's still fucking amazing, man. Like it plays
that one.
It plays like butter. Fucking, he does better animations when he swings. He got more swagger.
Yes, he does play better than Spider-Man. Because I went back and I played Miles Morales and I went to Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man doesn't control as fluidly as Miles Morales does.
Mm-hmm. My brother, I was doing a share screen with him, and maybe you got this ready, that you get the one from the universe, the Marvel universe, the Spider-Man multiverse. You get that version.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks just like the way
you could do the skipping animations thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's just pretty sick.
He turned on the pow, bam, boom, and all that stuff. So as he's fighting, all those things, the bubbles are popping up. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what I've been playing. Next week, I have the week off from work, so I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish that. Hopefully,
I gotta add you on PS5. I gotta add you on there.
You already have me on PlayStation.
All right.
He was thinking of another Carlos.
Thinking about another Euro car, you know.
Euro car.
So yeah, so I should play Demon Souls. I mean, I played just the start of it, but I should be playing more. And next week is Cyberpunk week at the end of on the Friday, so I'll start that then. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
There you go, man. All right, so I've been playing a lot of Demon Souls with Brett and Chris, having a lot of fun there. I decided to make a brand new character because I wasn't happy with my last one. Very happy with the new build. You know, I'm working on a Temple Knight. You know, that's focused on strength. Going pretty good so far. You know, so that's been a lot of fun. And then the surprise for me, I know Brett didn't like this. I've been having a blast with Star Wars Jedi Knight, whatever the fuck it's called, Jedi Fallen Order. Fantastic game. I'm surprised. This game came out this good. You know,
You're going back and playing games.
Yeah, because the game was on sale for $20, right? And I was watching one of my friends play, and I'm like, damn, this looks fucking good. This is crazy. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, hold on, this game, AAA production. It's Star Wars. It has like a mix of like Dark Souls and Metroidvania. I'm like, this is like tailor made for me. You know, so I just beat it literally before the show tonight. I'm like, wow. And I'm going to see if I can get the platinum. I'm like, this game is really fucking good. And on PS5, you know, it runs at 60 frames a second because apparently the other one was like, you know, kind of wonky and shit. And by the way, another shout out to B-Will because he doesn't buy games on launch. He waits till later because apparently at launch the game was all fucked up and buggy or whatever. Like, there was a couple little things here and there, but I didn't have to experience any of that. And it was running smooth as shit. It was dope. I'm surprised. I'm a sucker for 3D Metroidvania games. That's why I loved Control, because it has those crazy fucking maps and shit full of secrets. Or, you know, when you go into an area and you're like, what the fuck is that? How do I get that? Then you get a power and then you come back and get it. I'm a sucker for all that shit. The map layouts are all like that. So I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at my 91%. Ooh, there's a chest I'm missing. Where is this chest? You know, so
put it on your SSD or was it on your
No, it's on. Here's my my main complaint about this game. Dude, this thing takes forever to fucking load, even on the PS5 inside, Adam. Like, I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Because it's not a PS5 version. That's the PS5 version.
No, it's a PS4 version. You know, it's just being bumped up to you know. To its max potential, whatever. But the game, and you can tell, by the way, because you have two modes. You have the whatchamacallit, the higher fidelity, which is just a variable for, it's a fake 4K, as we call it, or 60 frames. I stuck with 60, but I stuck it with the 60 frames. It just brand better that way, even though, you know, sometimes it didn't look as good, but it still looked fucking amazing. You know, so yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Believe it or not, it's a great fucking game. I'm surprised. You know, so go check it out. $20.
Man, it's your boy.
Yeah,
your boy Stig on that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When I heard from him, I'm like, oh, Stig Asmussen worked on it. No wonder. And it's Respawn. You know, I love me some Respawn. Titanfall 2, one of the most underrated games of this generation. Adam, I know you could agree with that. That game is fantastic, and it has that kind of pedigree to it. So it's fucking dope.
I want to get back into that.
Yeah, but Demon Souls, man, Demon Souls is so fucking good, man. Like, Souls games just hit different, man. They really do. Like, there is nothing like a good Souls game, man. I know. I was talking to Riku the other day. He was telling me I need to check out Neo. I played Neo 2, couldn't get into it, but apparently both the Neo games are going to get a PS5 upgrade that play 120 frames a second. I'm like, okay, that's when I'll check out Neo. So, Brett, if you're down, you know, let's get Chris together and we can play some Neo next year. We'll see how it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so that's what I've been playing. I think, because we haven't had this segment in a long time. So I got the platinum in Astro's Playroom. Again, that's probably my most surprising game of the year, because I thought it was just going to be some bullshit packing game that I was going to completely ignore. But I saw Digital Foundry's reviews. I'm like, oh shit! Makes use of the haptic controls. Fucking great game. And it's what I like about the game is it's a huge love letter to PlayStation. So going through all these levels and stuff reminded me of, like, you know, the bygone era of PlayStation and stuff, which was really cool. And then I got the platinum in that. Got the platinum in Miles Morales, right? That was a lot of fun. And then I got the platinum again in Spider-Man. I could have done the trick where you upload your save or whatever and you instantly get the plat. I didn't do that. I went through it raw dog like I did before. Fucking great. With the ray tracing, excuse me? Oh man, like I know only.
See, you went back to that.
Yeah, man, it was a free platinum as far as it was just as easy this the second time
No,
around.
I know, but then you can come back for Watch Dogs and we could all play.
But I have Watch Dogs on my PC already.
They
You know?
got dogs.
But we'll see. But Adam, I'm not gonna say no though. We'll see what happens. You know?
That'll be fun.
Because I heard Watch Dogs PS5 version is really good.
Yeah, it's crashed on me a few times, but yeah, sure, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I played something else. You know what? I did dabble a little bit more in Watch Dogs because I still need to finish that. I played a little bit more of Valhalla. With Valhalla, I'm kind of stuck, right? Because I put 30 hours into the PC version, right? And I can upload my save to the PlayStation and pick up where I left off, but your trophies don't transfer over. So I'm like, that's kind of a deal breaker, man. So I have to start the whole game over again, but I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm stuck in this weird spot with this game. You know, it's like I could finish what I was doing on PC or, you know, play on my PlayStation. My PlayStation 5 actually plays it better than my PC, believe it or not. Yeah, believe it, you know, and Brian, thank you you warned me about this years ago. Ubisoft, they do not optimize their games well on PC. Dude, when I turn on HDR, for some fucking reason, the game runs like shit, like 15 frames a second. It makes no fucking sense. So I'm like, okay, I can play.
In fact, you can see that on the Throwdown plays.
Yeah, Watch Dogs doesn't have that issue, by the way. HDR is fine on PC version. So I'm like, okay, I can play it at, you know, it's like 1440p at 60 frames a second with HDR enabled on my PS5, or, you know, 4K 15 frames a second with HDR on, or 30 frames with HDR off. I'm like, I'm just gonna play it on PlayStation, but again, that's 30 more hours, so we'll see what happens with that. You know,
I wish that game had co-op. That would be dope if we're all on the same freaking Viking ship and traveling around raiding.
Yeah. So so that's what.
But you didn't like Sea of Thieves.
No, they're not Vikings. They're not Vikings. They're not Vikings. They're pirates. It's different. You know. All right, Brett, sir, what have you been playing lately?
I have been I'm playing Demon Souls with you guys on the PlayStation side, and I've been playing Grounded on the Xbox side.
Tell us about Grounded, man.
It's really cool. It's I was wondering why Microsoft didn't lean more into it, and I found out why. The game's not done. It's still in alpha. Not janky or buggy in any way, just I think they're still adding content, which is good. The game is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, where you can, you know, run around, explore. There's a few basic missions that kind of get you involved in things, and then there's kind of like random missions that recycle every day. But yeah, it's fun. You're tiny. You get to harvest grass and stuff to try and you know, build little shelters to save yourself from the horrific bugs. You know, I say it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but it keeps catching me off guard about how much it is very similar. Because yeah, the concept is the same, but then you're sitting there and you're, you know, just trying to get some food, and all of a sudden a giant fucking ant shows up, and you're just like, oh my holy shit! You just have to, you know, book it. It kind of gives you the same feeling, which is actually a neat little nostalgic throwback that I wasn't personally expecting. So Morgan and I, yeah, we got out, we killed a bunch of mites in a hole, and then we put a door on the hole, and then we just stacked it out like a Fallout bunker. Run around exploring different stuff. We're gonna move over and make a home in the tree. It's fun. It's busy work. Like you have to like this kind of game. Like I was even talking with Morgan the other day about how there's something nice and really peaceful in survival games about when you just gather materials, man. Just running around, killing crocodiles, chopping down trees, hanging out. It's kind of soothing. So yeah, I really just like, you know, going around, collecting my materials, fighting off giant spiders, preparing to build, you know, a big ass base, exploring the different quote unquote biomes. Like you have, you know, the pond, the maple tree. There's an area that has like a canister of pesticide that's leaking, and so it's like a toxic area. So it's really cool and well made, and it's running fantastically. It just needs to be finished, and if they could have finished this and actually put it out front, it really would have done well for their lineup at launch. But I guess it just still needs some work.
There you go. Yeah, and what I liked about it is they were very upfront about it. It's like, this game's not finished yet, guys. We're just gonna put it out there, have fun with it. So I like the fact that they were transparent about it. You know, unlike Avengers.
Mhm.
Yeah, Avengers like, this is a fully done game,
Yeah,
not just a shell of one.
Something.
I will use any
It's a
opportunity to
fully
dunk on
done
that
game or
fucking
something.
game, man. I'm sorry. I'll use any opportunity to dunk on that piece of shit.
I feel like they stole $60 from me.
Man, I'm sorry you had to pay for
What
that,
that
bro.
game?
I didn't pay for it and I felt ripped off, you know?
Oof.
Damn. All right, Brian, what you been playing, man?
Nada.
Nothing.
Actually,
No Warframe, man?
I told you, I'm playing Warframe this year.
Oh,
Simple
shit.
as. Yeah.
Well, okay,
I
so
think-
you'll play it in 3 weeks then, right?
I don't know actually. I have no interest to go back to it.
Oh, no, you're going to be lost with Cyberpunk. Never mind.
Exactly. So, I've actually just not been in the mood to play something these days. So,
I know why.
what?
It's simple because of fucking Cyberpunk. Every time a game I really highly anticipate is coming out, I don't want to play shit. Like,
I know,
the
I
mood
just-
just dries up. Like, nah, man.
I just have zero interest to play something at the moment.
You just
Again,
play
I have
FIFA with me.
other
Come on now.
to play, but
Yeah.
I just
Don't worry, Brian. You'll play some. But that's what happens to me. I was actually talking to Paris about it. He's like, yo, because you know Paris, he's big Cyberpunk. He's like, dude, I don't want to play nothing right now. Like, I just want to play Cyberpunk. So, Brian, even if you don't recognize that's probably what's happening to you too. Like, subconsciously, you're like, nah, these games ain't Cyberpunk. I'm not playing them.
Chomping at the bit.
You know?
I get nervous whenever I hear like people get super hyped on a game. That's when I also try not to get super hyped on it, because what if it sucks? Then you're like, damn, I waited all this time. I was super hyped. And then it's like, try to keep the balance. Don't get too
Yep.
excited.
Nah, fuck that, Brian.
Adam,
Get
that's
hyped.
exactly where I'm at.
Get hyped, bro.
Yeah, don't get too high.
No, don't get too hyped. Don't want to get too hyped.
I'm like
You
the
get hyped like years.
I'm the devil in Brian show. Like, yo, get hyped, son. Get hyped.
Brian's cool hyped. You know, it's not obnoxiously stupid. You know.
Really?
well, I'm not stood here at the rooftops like yelling that is the best game ever.
Yeah, I
made.
mean, you know.
I'm excited to play the game.
He did it in a very dignified manner, you know.
I mean, you know, it's a good way to be hyped about something. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm really excited to see. It's not like, oh my god, my fucking skin's gonna melt off. I didn't eat this fucking game. You know, it's not like that.
Just imagine Brian, you know, fucking at top of Big Ben yelling, "Oh, they got Cyberpunk, they do."
I feel like if Brian was disappointed, if Brian was disappointed, he'd be like, you know, that sucks. I really wanted to like that game. Whereas if everybody else who's chomping at the bit at this game is going to be the next thing since the second coming of Christ,
No, they're gonna be Oh my god, I
they're
can't.
gonna
believe I'm
fucking be
No,
disappointed.
no,
They're gonna want to burn CD Projekt
Yeah, they're
Red's
gonna
building
issue
down.
death threats. This game didn't live up to my standards. I want to kill you.
Oh, you
Fix
can
the
see
game
that
until
anyway.
unless I kill you. He's like, wait, how are they gonna fix the game if you kill him, bruh?
There's another side to that too. Like
What?
getting hyped up, people can lean into it. Like I've seen people when looking for the good find the good, and when looking for the bad find the bad. Like that's why I'm a big fan of like, dude. Most of the time, yeah, get hyped, 100%. My opinion on the thing is, you know, everybody's excited for Christmas Day, but Christmas is like a fucking 3-month period. And that may be a bad example for some of you, but the point is that the anticipation a lot of times not only lasts 10 times as long, but is sometimes the sweetest part of it. So yeah, you got to let yourself get hyped sometimes, because if you kind of tamp that down, you know, like the same way, I don't read a review before I play the game, because if I've noticed if it's a negative review, I'll notice that shit, and it honestly makes the game less enjoyable. So yeah, like stick your head in the ground and ride that hype train all the way to fucking Cyberpunk, man. Like if that's your jam, that's your jam. And don't listen to haters when they tell you, you know, what they don't like about the game.
Yeah, I don't think Brian cares either way.
No, I was more less for Brian and more just a general statement.
Question,
yes.
Brian.
Yeah, that was a good lesson.
Brian, do you use keyboard, mouse, or
Keyboard and mouse.
okay?
But it depends on the game.
He's running it old school.
For this one, for Cyberpunk, do you plan?
Cyberpunk, oh yeah, definitely keyboard and mouse. RPGs, keyboard. The only thing I use controls for are like stuff like God of War, like third person like action games.
And racing games too, right, Brian?
Yes, racing game as well. Dear
Oh,
Lord,
I want a
racing
wheel.
games. Racing games on keyboard and mouse are just the worst thing ever. Like everyone can say that keyboard and mouse is better, yes, but for racing games, no, it's much worse. Anything is better at racing games than keyboard and mouse. I'm willing to even say that like phones are better at racing games than keyboard and mouse.
Oh,
So you
shit.
just do not get that level of control because it's just not there. So yeah, racing games and third person keyboard and mouse, but everything else, pads, but everything else keyboard and mouse. It just feels weird. I tried Warframe once with the controller. It just felt odd. Felt real odd.
Oh man.
So yeah. Also, Manny, what you said about me, about if I don't like a game, then I'll just like, okay, it's all right. That's exactly how I felt about Skyrim. I was like, this game is really not for me. It's just,
Yeah.
So I was not in the Skyrim hype train. It just wasn't me. Great soundtrack, though. I'll give it that much. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'm just not. Just it's like the weird state where I just don't really want to play anything. I did get the Zelda Age of Calamity because I thought it just looked like fun times, but just not had the inkling to play it.
Telling you,
Yeah,
man,
last
you're purging yourself of all impurities, man. You're going through a ritual, preparing for that Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay, wait, that's like a half lie. I kind of played like the first chapter of Gears of War 4. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so basically done the robots part, and that's.
Oh yeah, the robot tutorial. I played that on my PC. It was cool. I still like the first 3 Gears better though. All right, Manny, you've been playing some games too. I noticed sometimes.
A little bit here and there. It's mostly Miles Morales, and it's mostly in stasis right now because I'm in full on like work mode. I've been that way since a few weeks now. I have it's the end of the year, so that means that every single studio wants everything toward, everything in this last month because everything's going to start launching, in January the next year. So got a lot of shit to finish before I can actually go and enjoy myself.
Well, the little bit that you did play of Miles Morales, what do you think?
Oh, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It definitely feels like a Spider-Man game. And it feels like I liked Miles from the last game, so it's more of the same. He's kind of a he seems to be a popular kid. He's not like a what is it? He's not like a punching bag like Peter Parker was.
Yeah, he seemed pretty popuar.
Everybody seems to know, hey, Miles, how's it going?
Yeah, in the multiverse, he was like that in the movie.
Yeah, he seemed to be. He's pretty confident sort of kid, as opposed to Peter Parker's like, oh my god, Flash Thompson, stop punching me in the face. So yeah, go, I mean, it's good so far, and it has nice little reprisals of everything. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's sort of like I even if you didn't know who the villain, I already know who the villains are, even though they haven't said, because they have the obvious one. Who.
Don't say nothing. Yeah.
The obvious one.
Don't say nothing.
I'm just gonna say the Prowler. You have the obvious one.
Don't everybody say nothing. And you say it. Jesus.
I'm gonna say what he. What?
Yo, man.
Manny, I told you not to say it.
What? He's in the fucking game.
Damn it, man!
They're all in the game. Dude. You get a trophy once you reach him. Damn.
No,
like,
but
it's Manny. You just unlocked.
That's not a fucking spoiler. He's in the fucking trailer.
Just, oh God, don't say it anymore.
I'm not saying who he is. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, but people didn't know that character was there. I didn't know the character was in there until I played the game.
He's in the fucking trailers.
I did. Some of us go media blind.
Yeah,
to not see the trailer.
Whatever. I mean, it's a Miles Morales game. Who's going to be in it? The Prowler. Anyway.
Nobody knows that.
You said it twice.
You said it 3 times. I told you not to do it. Jesus.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, you know,
Jesus.
that's my biggest issue with the game is there's no real I mean, granted, it's because I already sort of know the characters, but even some characters that show up, I'm like, all right, I already know what your deal is, and it's a little. That's my only disappointment. It's a little predictable, a bit predictable of where it's going to go. You know,
Yeah.
it's the oh hey, it's a new character. Oh, they're probably a villain. That's the way it is. It's like a character that's never showed up in any in the previous game.
Just stop talking. You're saying too much, man. Jeez.
What?
Man, no more.
Come on.
You're as bad as Adam right now with spoilers.
It's I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
Whole lot.
Jesus, man. All right.
You said more than what I've seen.
Man, he doesn't play games anymore. He doesn't play games anymore.
I do play games. Every
So what are you working on?
Did you play Miles Morales?
I can't talk about what I'm working on. What's up?
What?
Yeah, I can't talk about what I'm working on.
You said it's coming out before the end of the year.
No, he has to hand it in.
Coming out next year.
Yeah, he has to hand it in before the year's over.
All right, Adam, you don't want to spoil that shit now.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know,
Adam always blew the spot if I told him some shit behind the scene. Like, oh, Tony, you talk about it. I'm like, Adam, don't say that.
There's, I mean, you know, in that one, I can get in serious trouble with that one because I signed NDAs for that shit.
Yo,
so.
you know, man, he's working on comics, man.
Yeah, I'm working on comics. That's what
there you go. All right, man.
Carlos, we're gonna ask me something. Something? Is that?
Yeah, did you beat it, Miles?
Oh no, man! I turned it on. I shouldn't have because I really needed to get some work done. But I turned it on and I played it for like 10 hours.
Damn.
I mean,
I didn't beat the story though.
Oh, you were just messing around, right?
Yeah, I got to a certain point in the story, and I just started doing some missions when they started showing up in the game, and then 10 hours later, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm doing a mission, and then I finish the mission, and there's like, oh, there's a couple of fucking what are these the hidden locations, the time machine time capsules. So okay, let me go to these and. Yeah,
it's interesting the way this one does it, where it's sort of like slowly but surely, gives you additional missions as opposed to just leaving them there for you, which is kind of cool. Which is interesting. It's a different way than doing the last one because I was afraid they were going to do the same bullshit that they did from the last game. Like, hey, you got to hit the satellite and then you could see the rest of the map. No, you can see the whole map. Yeah. Some fun things I noticed though. The Chrysler building is missing in this game.
Yeah, and they replaced it with another big building. I'm not going to say, but
no. It probably is that, but they didn't replace it. They just put this fucking flat ass building. It's like they took the Chrysler building and chopped the top off of it, and then said, "Okay, that's it." Hilarious thing about that is the previous game ends on the Chrysler building. There's a whole sequence there, with something that happens. Of course, I'm not gonna say what it is, but you do have something there. So it's like, what's going on here? Anyway, yeah, cool game. Yeah, looks good.
Cool, man. No, I'm going to say there's different architecture in the game that was not in the first one. That's like, how the hell did you build that in 6 months? Like, that's fuck it, but we're not going to get into that. So yes, so that's going to do it for us. So Manny, since you were talking, do you have anything to plug or anything you can plug, I should say?
I mean, it's just the usual stuff, got some stuff coming from DC, doing some stuff for your Image. There a lot of that stuff is sort of coming next year. So, stay tuned for that stuff. So yeah, good stuff.
Comics.
Oh, wait, what is it? What's
like
the date?
Game, man.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, you still got time. If you're interested, you can get the game that I did artwork for called Swim Sanity, which is currently on Xbox Games with Gold for free. So if you have Games with Gold, you can just download it and you'll be, good to go. We also have a DLC that we just announced pretty recently. It's an expansion pack which had some additional weapons and some cool new art that I did. Also, Swim Sanity is also available for everything that you could possibly want to buy it for. Get it for. If you don't have an Xbox, you could buy it for PlayStation, Switch, or you can get it on Steam, and it has crossplay, so you can play on any of you. It's a multiplayer sort of game, so you can, or you can play single player, but you can play with anybody and through any of the consoles, which is kind of cool.
Crossplay, baby.
Crossplay.
Adam, man, what you got?
Not now. It's been kind of quiet. We're getting toward the end of the year, so nothing really going on. And all the shows that I am Negan, everything is on break. At least Will Beyond is finished, thank the gods. And Fear the Walking Dead, that's on break. And then we got the Walking Dead proper coming back in February. You hyped, Carlos? Are you hyped?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So we'll see. But yeah, that's in February. But so then that's it. Just enjoy the peace and quiet time with family. Just hang out.
There you go, man. All right. Again, I go check out the YouTube channel called Games for Everyone, where I did a cool podcast with again, sorry if I mispronounced him, Jerko Silas from Door to Gaming. Really good conversation about the whole tribalism in gaming and all that. Also, check out Gamertag Radio episode 1089, where Danny, Paris, and I talk about this generation of consoles and whether it has the best launch lineup. And also check out Intel Gaming Arena over on Twitch, where they're having a big event all centered around PC gaming, console gaming, everything. And my specific segment is on the first episode. Go to 3 hours, 33 minutes, 33 seconds. You can check out my whole segment there with Adesina Sanchez. It's good stuff, people. Good stuff. All right, so that's going to do it for us here. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and join our Discord. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show, and you can visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, everybody. Or a good weekend, I should say.
Brett Murdoch.
It's for real people.
And Brian Manjoma.
So now that we've talked about Cyberpunk, watch it be delayed again.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. All right, people. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.
Later.
Deuces.